folks, it's your nighttime, it's your right time DJ Music. Make sure you join Char Willie each and every Saturday, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central for Article Reaction, right here on your local YouTube channel. Don't forget folks, like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome and TGIF everyone. How are you? Hope you are well. Glad to see you. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I know it is valuable. And speaking about valuable time, my guests tonight have given me an hour of her time. When you're a business person, mom, and all that good stuff, you're busy. And I get it. I'm going to keep my opening very brief so I can bring her on. And she is Marcia Lee. She is a business owner of two salons in Chicago for over 20 years. One is in the South Loop area and the Hyde Park area. You might have heard of Hyde Park as far as with Barack Obama, former president. Remember him? Yeah. And she will give her experience dealing with the changes during this pandemic as a business owner. So, you guys welcome her, and I'll bring her on. All right. Welcome, Marcia. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Shar. Thank you for the invitation. It's such an honor
You
to be
are welcome.
asked for your presence, for my presence to be here. So,
You are welcome, and I'll be inviting you back. I'm pretty sure as a business owner, you'll have things to offer. Because we have some people that's in the chat room and that actually subscribe to me that lives in Chicago. So I'm sure there's something you can offer them, and we'll get
okay,
into that.
all right.
All right. So on my intro, I said that you were a business owner of two salons over 20 years. Would you like
Yes,
to give me a
ma'am.
little information about that?
As you said, salon owner for over 20 years. Started out on the south side of Chicago. In 2014, I moved into the South Loop area, and from there, we opened a salon. I'm sorry, 2004, and from 2004, searching for a location in South Loop area, and then I found a location in 2011 that I was very interested in. So we there for 9 years, and we opened the second location October of 2018.
Okay, so that wasn't that long ago. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Now, as a business owner, we all made different changes because we had no choice because of this pandemic. Would you like to give us some details as far as how it has affected you as a business owner?
Yeah, unfortunately, I did have to downsize and close down the South Loop location. We had a staff of 24, and because of the stages that the city opened up to, we were only allowed 10 people in our space at a time. So, unfortunately, when you have 24 people and you have a staff of 24 people and there can only be
Right,
10 people in the building, it was very stressful. I began to get stressful trying to figure out how we were going to open back up, how are the schedules going to be, how can I make everybody feel comfortable, and it just didn't it didn't add up. So I started making phone calls trying to see who was doing what. We had our Zoom meetings, and
Uh-huh.
everybody was um kind of hesitant. They really didn't understand. I mean, it was all new for us. So some people decided to stay home, some people got other jobs, some people took a step back. So those 24 people started dwindling down, and it left us around about 8 people because I had to schedule. How do you schedule people that are paying booth rent to you and telling them,
Right.
oh, now I have to make you come in at this time, or you can only work these amount of days. So I'm gonna have some of y'all come 3 days, and then some of you come the following 3 days, and we'll be open 7 days a week. It just didn't work out. So we decided to um, minimize the South Loop location and take the people that I did have left in South Loop, and we had moved the final people over to the Hyde Park location.
Okay. Now, there was supposed to be help for small business owners. How did you have support, if any?
I did get support from Hyde Park, um, from the um, community based. There was a community based grant that we got from the Hyde Park area,
Wonderful.
and we got support from there, and it kind of worked itself out because unfortunately, after we were supposed to open up June 3rd, um, then our area got looted. So that pushed us back from opening at a later date because we had to replace our windows and doors. They didn't get into the space, but they did vandalize the windows. So Hyde Park kind of shut the area down enough, but not enough because we are located in the strip mall where the Hyde Park Kenwood Liquors is. So they are roughly around the corner from us, but we're all still a part of that strip mall. So the Hyde Park liquor store, the grocery store wasn't bothered, but the liquor store
Uh-huh.
there was. So they did shut it down, and no other spaces were affected in that magnitude. But it did sit us back a time because we had to wait until we could replace the window and doors.
Okay. Well, I know for certain that in this next bill that's coming up, they are going to have money for business owners, for those who have lost because of the looting. But what we call it is liberating, because
Mm,
we try to peacefully march and say, hey, don't do this to us. And just people just got tired of that, and they've done what they've done. And that's kind of the attitude that we have.
mhm.
But just to let you know, there is some money that's going to be available to you as well as to other business owners that did have any type of damage to their business. So that's good news.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
I,
right.
I think it's called the BIG program. I did fill out the paperwork for that because you had to have it in about a couple of weeks ago. So everything that they said that was for us, trust me, I applied for everything you could think of out there. So I
Good.
stayed up on my computer from sun up to sundown over COVID and doing research, just trying to figure life out and figure out what happens next. So I didn't stop until, I made sure that I've exhausted every area of the funding that they did say that they had out there for us.
Okay, good. And again, be on the lookout for the next package because they're going to have some more stuff in there for you.
Okay.
And what I do on this channel, I like to give information whenever I get it, because you never know who's watching, and it is an advice channel. I get people to write in, um, and I have them to remain anonymous, so that way there's no one making fun of anyone, none of that type of stuff, and it gives people the freedom to feel free to speak with me because I'm not
Mm-hmm.
giving their name. Because some
Mm-hmm.
people have some personal information and they just want some advice.
Right.
And I'm known for being very honest, whether it hurts or not. I'm going to, just give you an honest opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. I appreciate that.
Yes. So I'll be looking out for you. That's for sure. And audience, I'll let you know that she is my hairdresser. I went to her Hyde Park location, and I mean not Hyde Park. Just recently, I went to the Hyde Park, but I went to the South Loop area. That's where I met her, and it was a very interesting story. And I'll keep it short because again, I said she has 1 hour, and she's given us, the information that she wants to give, and then we'll hold our questions to the end. So have them in mind as you guys listen. I went to a hairdresser in the area, the South Loop area, because I was trying to find someone new. My hairdresser had passed away that February, and I had held on as long as I possibly could. And the summer came, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Because I didn't like really people in my head when it came down to relaxers. I burned easily, and I just didn't like it. And people that I met that actually took the time, I stuck with them until the end. So I went to this particular place, and the woman at the front desk told me that no one was there that could actually service me. She said, I don't know what's going on. She said, we have a lot of young people. They're not going to give you the care that you need. She said, go across the street, talk to the owner there, Marcia. I'll send you over there. She'll take care of you. I'm like, okay, I'll write it down, Marcia. Okay, gotcha. I went across the street. I talked to the receptionist. They said, oh, you want to speak with Marcia? Do you have an appointment? No, I was just sent over here from across the street. They're like, okay, have a seat. Marcia came to the front. We had a talk. She looked at my hair, and I've been with her ever since. So that's my story, everyone. You can meet good people
Wow.
accidentally.
Yeah. Wow.
All
I
right.
never knew that. Never
Yeah.
knew that. Wow.
Oh, yes. And she does great color, just to let you know.
Thank you.
Now, so with your support that you receive, what is your current state? Um, are you stable? Is it, you know, getting close to what you had before? Because I know there was a loss of income and all kind of things.
We are, I wouldn't say we're stable, because the way that the mayor and the governor has it, we're now able to house 25% of our normal capacities, but you still want to be safe,
Yes.
and still not, you know, overpower yourself. Prior to COVID, we still went by appointments only, for, of course, we did take walk-ins when we were able to do it. Our walk-in situation is a little bit more apprehensive because now you don't know, because of health issues in life, these people that are coming to the salon, you don't know, where they're coming from. So it's best that we can help them. When you come, we do take your temperature, we have you sanitize, and then, wash your hands in the bathroom, and then we will service your hair. But we're still not. We're not able to, we're not at full capacity. We're not nowhere near where we were before. I don't think
Mm.
we will ever be there that way again. Um,
Oh, wow.
just with how everything is situated, and you don't want people to be nervous, you don't want them not to feel comfortable when they come in. So we still are pretty much doing the same thing as stage 3, where it was 10 people allowed in the building, but it's a little bit more at ease, but you still don't want to overload people or have too many people in the space at a time. So no, we're not. where we were, and we just take one day at a time. You know, as a business owner, for me, it's one day at a time. You're trying to play catch up. You're trying to pay the back bills that you owe, all the electric and utility bills, and everything else that our city held off for us. I mean, they deferred the payments, but it wasn't like we don't have to pay them. So everybody
Right.
that we owe for those months, we got to pay them back. And I mean, it's unfortunate. For, a lot of people, because I do have a lot of colleagues that were salon owners and they didn't come back. I was blessed with the Hyde Park location to be in a black owned strip mall, that they understand, you know, they're in the same situation. So they had no other choice but to work with us because they know what it's like. But again,
Mm.
you got to take one day at a time.
Yeah, that's true. Now, when I went to that location and had services from you, it was just last month. Was it the first of this month? It was recently. And I noticed that the sterilization process of when changing stations, it was very interesting. When you got up from the bowl, that had to be sterilized. You go to the hairdresser's chair, sterilized. The hair dryer chair, sterilized. Go back to the shampoo bowl, sterilization. And it was just a constant back and forth of wiping down things. So I was just really thinking on the way home that that is actually a new position because someone needs to do that to give you guys a break because you guys were constantly wiping down. You guys were doing it yourself. And I actually was trying to figure out what's a good dollar amount for that position. I really was thinking that because I'm like, this will really give the hairdressers a break because it's no joke what you guys were doing. You were following orders, as far as keeping everyone safe, but it is a lot, you know,
Yeah.
it is a lot.
Yeah, when we first opened up, um, unfortunately, we could not house our assistants because of the 10 people in the space at a time. So that meant that we literally had to book our clients where we could manage them from start to finish. And again, yes, you're talking about a 50-year-old woman now that is used to having an assistant or two, three assistants throughout the week where I'm just styling my client's hair and servicing the next client. Now
Right.
I'm doing everything along with the sterilization. And the thing is, these are things that we were doing anyway. Now, as far as the extra stuff that we had to do, the sterilization wasn't after every client, but it was at the end of the day or middle part of the day or something like that, to spray the chairs down. We did that at the end of our workday. Our barbicide, we had the barbicide certification. Those things we were doing anyway. We always had our wipes. We've always had our disinfectant spray that we would spray the area down or spray the chairs down, like I said, at the end of the day, but not after every client. So that extra added benefit was for the safety of us and for the safety of our clients. And yes, by the end of the day, when we first started, I would come home and yeah, feet would be swollen and I
Wow.
would laugh with my coworkers, and I was like, y'all didn't tell me because over COVID I turned 50. So, I was like, yeah, no one gave me the memo about the 50-year-old itch or the 50-year-old issue. So, yeah, my ankles are swollen and my knees are hurting right now. So it was very challenging in the beginning. Right now we do have one to two assistants back in the building. That we are able to employ, that we're grateful for that, to have them back in the building because it does take a little bit of the load off of us. to have them doing the sterilization after every client where it's just not so much on us. So yeah.
Yeah, I knew that was a need because, I mean, you were just back and forth, and you watched you. I'm like, wow, So, that's why I'm like, I don't know when. That's why when I spoke with you, I said I'm not sure when you can come on the show, but whenever
Hmm.
you have the time, I don't care what Friday it is, if it's December of
Hmm.
this year, whenever you have some time, because I could see how much it is, on you. I actually saw
Oh,
that, so
yeah, it
I'm
definitely
glad
was.
I'm so glad you're able to make it now. Now, as far as the schedule changes, you mentioned that and less staff. Are there some things that you no longer can do as far as with your business, facials or things like that?
Well, just last Friday, she took us back again to phase 3, where our aesthetics, which is esthetician, and they deal with skin portion aspect of cosmetology, um, and that includes facials, eyebrow waxing. Unfortunately, we cannot service our clients with facials anymore until a later notice, until Auntie Lori let us know when we can have them back in there. But and that's because they when you're getting a facial, of course, you can't have a mask on. So
Hmm.
no facials. You can, like I said, you can have eyebrow services, other body services like leg wax, underarm wax, your mustache or your chin and things of that caliber. You just have to lift the mask up to a certain part where they're able to do that. But as far as a facial service is concerned, no, we cannot do facials right now.
Oh, wow. Okay. But you can get to like the eyebrows. Are there like wax for the eyebrows? Is that a service you guys can do?
We can do eyebrow waxing. We have a eyebrow threader at the salon, so she does the eyebrow threading and waxing. She does henna tattoos as well, so you're able to get your henna done. And again, like I said, she does the Brazilian wax, she does leg and arm wax, but that's as much as she can do at this time until we're able to go back into phase 4 when our numbers drop back down.
Okay. And for you guys wondering what when she says she and Auntie Lori, uh, she's referring to our mayor. In case you guys
Yes,
like,
I'm
what is she
sorry.
talking
Yes,
about? No,
yes,
it's fine.
Auntie Lori.
That's a name that they
Auntie
use as
said,
far.
no.
That's
So
a
sorry.
name they call her, our mayor.
Hmm. Yes, Auntie said no, but I respect her. I am behind her 100%. I am behind our governor 100% because at the end of the day, our lives matter. It is important and imperative, especially in the industry that we're in, because we are the closest to you guys that we would ever be outside of being your spouses or significant others or partners or whatever. We are the closest. So it is very important to make sure that we are taking the necessary precautions and making sure that we are not putting anybody their lives at jeopardy. So I I'm not, you know, complaining. We just got to do what we have to do, and we have to listen to what they say. And I am 100% behind them.
Okay, good deal. Now, is there another way you've been earning money as far as during this pandemic? You you are a real estate agent, is that correct?
Yes, I've been a real estate agent probably for 19 years. So I am a managing broker. I did a little dibbling for about 6 years doing mortgages and real estate. unfortunately, in 2008, when the market crashed, they kind of weeded a lot of mortgage companies off, and we had just gotten our certification or the necessary licensures that we needed at the time. So, when that happened, they wanted us to go back and take the test all over again, and I was not doing it. I mean, that was another $1,000 that you had to pay, and so I chose what I could, and what I could afford, and real estate had that was my first choice. So I just stayed with that. The real estate side is for realtors, well, managing brokers, that's myself with my own office. A lot of rentals is picking up. Again, unfortunately, everything was it. The real estate market is different.
Yes.
We had a deal that I'm still waiting to close on, where our appraisal team had to take pictures. Well, wanted us to, my client, to take the pictures of the property and just send the pictures to them, which we've never seen appraisal done like that before ever in our whole, not in my whole career as a real estate broker.
Wow.
Everything was slowed down. The banks, nobody's working in the bank, so everybody's working from home. So that market pretty much subsided. On the flip side of it, our mortgage rates are at an all-time high, low, where people can't. I mean, if you really don't have the best credit, you still would get a really good rate. So the
Yes.
market is picking back up. It's slowly but surely. So, everything that I do is on what I do. I'm a travel agent, I'm a realtor, but of course, the travel agency aspect of my career is at an all-time stop because nobody can
Right.
travel right now. So, that part is on hold. I don't think people will be traveling for at least another year or two. So,
I believe you.
but yeah, so you just had to just for me, I just kind of did a lot of consulting with my clients on the hair side, consulting on the real estate side, just to try to make ends meet, and whatever funding that they had out here for us to help us. I mean, during the pandemic, of course, you got a link card to help you because I have children. You know what I mean? So, my husband is a first responder, so he works at Joliet Prison. So, and at the time, um, during COVID, unfortunately, he did have COVID. So we had to be
Oh,
separated we had to be separated from him because he had to quarantine himself for 14 days from the family. So it was a rough time for us. So, um,
wow.
but God is good. By the grace of God, he wasn't hospitalized, and the unfortunate part is, the inmates they had it, so he's transporting these inmates to COVID hospital to get treated, and you're transporting them, and he's sitting in a 6 by 6 box with them for 8 hours a day. So it was inevitable. But he's healthy, and we eat healthy, and we eat, the best way we
Uh-huh.
can. So we were able to attack it aggressively and just get them back to the best way we could. Symptoms were very mild, but yeah, I mean, it was real. It was a reality check for all aspects of my life, and but we got through it. We got through it.
Okay, and that brings us right to the last thing that I want you to describe, and then we'll take some questions from the audience. When I was at the shampoo bowl, I was dozing off, relaxing with the nice warm towel on my head,
Mm.
and I heard a conversation where you mentioned that you believe that COVID was here before they actually announced it in February. Could you
Oh,
tell us about that?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I really believe we that COVID was Here, probably between October and December, and maybe a little bit sooner. Back in October of 2019, I was feeling the worst as I could ever feel. I've never felt this way. Having a cold or flu-like symptoms or a virus or things of that caliber, and I have really bad allergies. So I thought maybe it was my sinuses, my allergies acting up, but I could not shake this feeling and went to the doctor. They said, "Oh, upper respiratory." And sent me home, take some cough syrup. This cough is going to linger on for about a month. They said that you'll keep it going. And it's just like the salon, people, just clients and our staff. But what really got
Mm.
me concerned about it was my front desk. She had gotten sick and she
The
was
person at your front desk?
hospitalized. Yeah,
Okay.
my front desk manager, she ended up getting sick in December,
December.
and
Okay.
um, she, was very concerned, and she called me and she was like, "Marcia, it's so weird. They tested me for the flu. I didn't have the flu." She said, "But they stuck this thing all the way down in my nose, and it hurt so bad." And I was like, "Really? What type of test was that?" She said, "I don't know, but I didn't have the flu. They kept her overnight, pumped her with fluids or things of that caliber, and her and her son was sick." And so she came back to the salon. She was crafty like that because she's a licensed cosmetologist as well. But she had made her mask, a face mask, and it was a leopard print. And she had to come back to work because if she didn't work, she didn't get paid. And she was a single mom. And so she said, "Marcia, if you don't mind, if I wear a face mask, so I won't be coughing on anybody," because that was her issue, the coughing. And that was the same way with me, the coughing. I could not stop coughing. So, when we take ill in the salon
Wow.
before, um they even made us wear masks. We would wear masks anyway when we were not feeling up to par so that we wouldn't be sneezing and coughing on our clients if we weren't feeling well, because if we don't work, we don't get paid. So if you're not feeling a little up to par, you will just wear a mask. And so I told her, I said, "Melissa, I said, that's fine, as long as you're not sneezing and coughing over anybody." And so of course it was a joke in the salon, like, why does she have the thing on her face? And look at us now. We have to wear masks. All kind of designs and leopard prints and rhinestones, and but in
Okay.
December it was a joke, and they were looking at me strangely. And so I'm like, "Yeah, you're not laughing now because we have to wear these things every single day you go out the house." So I really believe, I know something was going on because even our numbers third quarter were not the same from October to December. It just, our numbers were way off. And I kept
Wow.
saying that for somebody that's an accountant, or that's my background. My major is political science. I have a minor in accounting. So I know my numbers. And
Okay.
from October to December, our numbers are high because that's the holiday season. So you
Right.
make money, you make good money during the holiday season, and then it'll slow down in January. But 2019 fourth quarter was awful. And again, people were sick all the time. It just kept becoming a continuous thing. So I do believe that COVID was here in 2019. And I really believe that that's why it's called COVID-19. So I'm sorry. That's just my
Mm.
take on it. So,
I gotta give it to you. That's right. And soon as you mentioned that, I just thought about this young man that was sick quite often right near the end of the year. And I think
mhm,
he didn't come back. I think he was gone because they didn't play
mhm,
that when you missed a lot of days.
mhm,
I just thought about that.
mhm,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah, he had coughing and he was
Yeah.
off for a while. He came back, took off again.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That just flashed before my eyes.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Gee. Well, everyone, I put the link in the chat room. You guys want to join the panel and or put a question in the chat room. Um, she's given us another, let me see, we got about 20 minutes left of her time. So make it good, people. Make it good. And on the panel, we have Ruby. Welcome, Ruby.
Hello, thank you for having me, and thank you for coming to talk to us about this. Because I was actually now I avoided going to the salon altogether because I'm
Mm-hmm.
exactly one of those clients. I'm scared. I'm scared to
I
go.
know.
Right? I
Yeah.
have a horrible immune system, like you. I
Yeah.
think COVID was around way before.
Yeah.
Most people know I was sick for months. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
sick from maybe January until like
Mm-hmm.
the end of March. So, and it
Mm-hmm.
was the same thing, upper respiratory,
Mm-hmm.
no diagnosis, not
Mm-hmm.
bacterial,
Yep.
right? So I
Yep.
was scared. I'm like, I don't want to
I'm
go into
sure.
a salon, right?
I'm sure. But you have to know that we're probably the cleanest place to ever go into outside of restaurants, bars, lounges. Salons are probably the most safest place that you can go to right now.
Hmm,
The most safest because of things what they're having us do. We do it anyway. We've just taken it a notch up,
right.
but we've been doing this since day one. Our first chapter in our cosmetology book is sanitation and disinfecting and learning the viruses and learning about wiping down surfaces and our bacteria powder that we would have to have sitting in our drawers and wiping
Hmm.
your tools down and putting your tools in barbicide and what it has to have, how long you have to infuse the tool into your disinfectant spray. And
Right.
so again, but I get it. Trust me, I understand. I understand wholeheartedly because it was scary. It was very scary for me. I really thought that because I was coughing so badly
Hmm.
last year, and they put me on
Hmm.
Buterol. They put me on that. I had an inhaler for about a month. I really could not breathe, and my daughters, like it really shook them because I felt like my chest was caving in. I kept I prayed. I was like, Lord, I know I told you that I wanted if you're gonna take me in my sleep, but I'm not ready to go yet. Like really
Hmm.
hold off. I got two babies, still school age kids. They can't what are they gonna do without their mom? Like I literally thought one night it was so bad because the fever was high and I didn't think I was gonna wake up, honestly. But
Hmm.
I just did what I could I started taking elderberries. One of my coworker,
Oh.
they said get you some elderberry to make sure you're taking your ginger. Like I really started
Hmm.
doing ginger every day, doing my zinc. I was doing the medicine ball at Starbucks. I became a Starbucks fanatic, and I don't go to Starbucks like that. It's just not in my budget, But I
Hmm.
was so then I found out how to make a girlfriend of mine had a friend that told us how to make it. So I would make me a medicine ball every day and,
Hmm.
get my ginger and take my elderberry. And
Hmm.
finally, after a month or so, the cough subsided because I could not stop coughing. I could not.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but I understand. I understand wholeheartedly because we still have a lot of clients that are afraid to come back. They are.
See, well, that's who I'm scared of. It's not y'all. It's the
Right.
clients,
Oh,
right?
I
No, like
know.
I'm being real because
I
people
know.
people will do all kinds of ridiculous stuff, right? They will pretend that they're not sick so they
Oh
can
my
get their
God.
hair did for Saturday. They'll cough all over their hands and stuff,
Yes.
and then take their dirty
Yes.
hands, put it on the outside of
Yes.
their mask because they're putting it on their
You
face,
are.
and then come
Yep.
in,
Yep.
right?
You are
Like, I'm scared of
absolutely
them.
correct. I understand. And to be honest with you, that's so funny because we had a client to come in today. She's OB-GYN and her patient is expecting and she lied to the doctor. And her
Oh,
her fiance or boyfriend or whatever came into the doctor's office and he has COVID. And
Oh,
the doctor, she had a close friend that knew the patient and her boyfriend, and the friend called the doctor and said, "Hey, we know for a fact that her boyfriend or child's father has COVID." So she
oh,
called her back again and questioned her and asked her, and the patient lied again. So
wow.
so I get it. Trust me, I get it. So
wow,
not only are you putting the doctor, her staff, and
right.
others in jeopardy, but you told a bold-faced lie, and
Mhm,
all of them now because they have been in they have been in contact with her, they have to quarantine for 14 days. Like, so
wow.
I get it. And I say it all the time. Like the other conversation that we had today in the salon was that some of the clients that come through our doors, they're upset because
Uh-huh.
we tell them to make sure you have your mask,
Mhm,
to sanitize your hands, then go to the
mhm.
bathroom and wash your hands. They're like, well, if I sanitize my hands, why do I have to go to the bathroom and wash my hands?
I
Okay, so
think I
let's
would
back
turn
this
them
up.
away. I think I
Right?
would turn them
So,
away.
Yeah.
right, so I have, so it's not, I explain to them because they want to know, So we're telling you, number one, when you touch my door on the outside, you don't know who touched that door on the outside. This is an outside door that anybody can put their hands on.
Mhm,
People minds are not right. Everybody don't have a great heart.
mhm,
Everybody don't think to save the world, and everybody is not of as peace. Okay, so
Right.
now you've touched the door and you walk inside of my space. Your hands may have COVID on there. So, yes, I have you to use the sanitizer. But again, it takes how many hours does it take after you touch that metal part of the door? How long
Mm.
does it take for that COVID virus to leave that metal part of that door? Okay.
couple
So
days.
now, exactly. So now it's on your hands, and we're telling you, no, we don't have a sink. Now, there will be a difference. If I had a sink at the front of my door, when
Right.
you come through the door, I will immediately make you wash your hands. I can't do
Mhm,
that. So, therefore, I need you to sanitize. So, because when you touch the knobs on the sink, if someone had COVID that touched the outside of that door, which it
mhm,
sits on the door for a couple of days, now you have it because at least the sanitizer will kill, and now you can go in and wash your hands to make sure that you destroyed all of the antibodies that's on your hands.
mhm.
But so I got to explain this to you. Okay, fine. I'm sorry that I want you to live. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I'm sorry that I'm taking your health more responsibly than you are. I'm sorry that I don't want
Mhm,
anybody to die in this place. You know what I mean? But like,
Right.
we've literally had people to get attitudes with us,
mhm,
to go back and forth with my front desk manager, to question me, to ask the owner to come and talk to them. And don't get me wrong, these are people that are medical professionals. I've had a debate with a medical professional, and at this point, like you said, Shar, absolutely. If you don't abide by the rules, you can't get service here. I don't care who client you are.
Mhm.
I'm not going to lose my license, and it's
Right.
several licenses that I have, that I'm not getting ready to lose it because you choose not to be safe. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
Right. Wow.
Absolutely.
I have a question from the chat room. Someone wants to know, what do you foresee as far as foreclosures in the future? I'm kind of paraphrasing his question. I can't find it.
Um,
Let's see.
well, in the real estate sector, if we keep going backwards, I mean, people are not, if they don't get back to where they are. A lot of people, I do know from talking to my clients, a lot of people had to take pay cuts. A lot of people had to um, pull back, well, not pull back, or not receive their bonuses at the end of the year, or whenever they may get quarterly bonuses or something like that, so that other people in their companies could not lose their job. In order to keep those people, a lot of the staff had to pull back their bonuses and not get a pay raise. You understand? So like, and some people were upset because they couldn't get their bonuses. So you would rather your colleague lose their job than you not get your bonus, or you not get a pay raise, just to things get a little better. That, it's really tricky. It's kind of sad. But again, yeah, some people are not going back to work. You have some people, as far as the CPS sector, like Chicago Public Schools, and my both of my daughters go there. Um, the parents can't go back to work because they don't. If our kids are definitely not going back to school in the fall, it will definitely be some form of virtually, and then some form of going back into the building. You do get to choose whether you want your child to go back into the building. For me, I'm choosing not for my children to go back into the building right now,
Uh-huh.
just because I'm just not comfortable with the school setting. I just don't feel like it's going to be safe enough for them. And to be honest, some kids are just not. Before COVID, they weren't the healthiest part of life. And it's not their fault. You know what I'm saying?
Stop laughing,
Uh,
Ruby.
Well, I
no,
call
it's
them little germ factories. That's how I
yeah.
refer to
I
children.
mean,
Right? Like,
and the reason why is because a lot of my clientele are educators, and that's the thing that they said, they're the most healthiest that they have been in years over
mhm.
these last 4 to 5 months. They are the most healthiest that they have ever been in years. So what is
Mhm.
that saying? You know what I mean?
Right.
But you want to call Zoom meetings for these teachers and faculty and administrators to, they have a Zoom meeting, but you want to bring our children back into the building. I'm not cool with that. So foreclosure. So to answer
Yeah.
your question, I do feel like foreclosures will keep rising if we don't get our numbers down and people can get their jobs back. Yeah.
Okay. I got one quick question, and then Ruby, if you have one, you can end you can have the last question because
Okay.
she only has a few more minutes. Someone asked, as far as getting into the business that you are in, what did it take? What are some of the challenges of getting started?
Getting into the business, as a cosmetologist, like number one, the talent does have to be there in the beginning. Because when you go to cosmetology school teaches you how to pass state board. Just like real estate school teaches you how to pass real estate state board. That love that you have for that field, that comes within. Like, you become the best salesperson, you become the best cosmetologist. That talent is probably there. um, if someone had told me that I was going to be a cosmetologist in high school, I would have completely laughed at you, because that was not an area that I had chosen to be in. That was just an area that I had the talent in that got me through when I was going away to school and having some extra money in my pocket. I went to Howard University, and my family, I came from a family where you went to school, you got a job, you worked for 4 years, you retired, and that was that. But for me, I was the first grandchild in my family to graduate from high school and graduate from college and then start our own business. So I'm the first of that spectrum to break that cycle that you were raised by to uh this is what you do. You go work for somebody else and make them rich and you retire. And I broke the cycle. But that talent that I had, so I started practicing doing hair on my front porch. Started out French braiding hair. Then when I got to college or high school, I messed up a bunch of sinks and dishes in my mother's kitchen because I was making my homemade color with conditioner and Kool-Aid. So I got cussed out because Kool-Aid and conditioner was on staining her cabinet, staining her
Mhm.
countertops, staining the sink on her floors. But that was something that innately that grew inside of me. So when I did get into college, fortunately, that was a way for me to make it through because Howard was expensive and they didn't have all the resources that they do now, or unless my mom had no knowledge of it. And as a kid, you don't know what to do. So it's up to the parent to help provide that knowledge for your children. So the struggles are um, not having that confidence in yourself, not believing in yourself that you are who you are, stand firm on what you believe in and what your talent and your goals are. If you're getting certifications that you need, if you're licensing yourself and continuously getting the education that you need so that you can become a master colorist or a master hair cutter or a master hair care stylist. Those things come within, but you have to train yourself and push yourself. And if you don't have that motivation behind you or don't have people that motivate you, then you start to step back. And there are a lot of people that have cosmetology license that are not hairstylists. There are a lot of hairstylists out here that are cosmetologists but don't, or hairstylists and don't have a license. You see the difference?
Okay.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you can have the talent but be afraid to go to school to get your license because you don't want to fail, you know. But
Uh-huh.
it takes a stronger person to believe that you can do it and motivate yourself to become where you need to do right so that you can file your taxes, you can become a salon owner, you can apply for all of these funds that they have out here for you, even though it's a waiting game. But if I didn't have all my ducks in a row, if I didn't file my taxes every year, if I didn't license myself to become a cosmetologist, I wouldn't have been able to apply for anything, any resources that they had out here for us. So
Mhm.
it just takes a strong, you got to be strong, and trust me, I didn't get here, I was this meek individual. My first client was a good friend of mine that comes, she's been coming to me, she actually came today to get her hair done. She has been coming to me for 32 plus years. She was my first guinea pig, as I call, in college, and she had been coming to me every week faithfully, and she'll pull that card on me in a heartbeat. I'm your first customer. So yes, she did allow me to play in her hair, and her hair was, fortunately, the asymmetric was out because I was cutting her hair as lopsided as it could be when I first started, you
Oh
know.
no.
But that was the style. So I'm appreciative of all the clients that have afforded me to give them what they came in or what they may not have come in for, because sometimes you can't please everybody. So, and you have to know that a lot of times the clients don't, they really don't know, so they're taking your professional expertise, so,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I hope that answered your caller's question.
I'm sure it does.
Mhm.
And when I stop by, I'm going to leave some business cards there at the front desk. Like, share, and subscribe. People can come check out my channel as well as this particular segment. I'm sure they'll like to see and hear from you outside the salon. I think they would like this talk. So be
Okay.
looking out for me.
Okay. All right, I will.
All right, Ruby, she has a few minutes left. You have some questions for her? She has 5 minutes. I don't want to take more of her time.
All right, all right. I ramble, so Char's warning me. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll go quick then. No, you know what? I think a good question in this day and age. You are a working woman, and you have children, and I think a lot of people have a similar concern, which is, they understand H1N1 didn't go anywhere. A lot of these viruses never went anywhere. We just
Mhm.
stopped, being scared of them.
Mhm.
Whereas in COVID-19, the threat and the effect ended up being very real.
Mhm.
So, you can't just pretend it's gone because it's not going anywhere. So, some people like yourself might be like, well, I would rather just keep them home. So, what do you suggest for people who are in one or two parent homes? Everyone's working at home. So, what do you do with your kids then? And what are you going to do, I guess, to educate them? Because, they still got to keep learning. So, oh, what's your suggestions there? Or I guess, how are you going to go about that?
Um, for me, I have one in high school. She's a sophomore in high school, and the other is middle school, sixth grader. So my children are kind of, we've raised them to be independently challenging. And over COVID, I have a bunch of hats. So I did teach middle school for about 2 years, but I
Oh,
found out that that was not, you know, that's not my expertise at all. Their
hmm,
dad actually was an educator for over 20 years until he got with the
wow.
state. So that background is instilled in us. A lot of my good girlfriends are educators, administrators, principals, assistant principals. So the resources that I have are just unsurpassable and unlimited for me. Everybody's not afforded that opportunity. Um, the great thing about the um, world that we live in from the internet, there is a vast number or a vast amount of information that you're able to get your resources from. Um, Unfortunately, a lot of parents can't be at home with their children. But I mean, as of right now, I feel as though most parents are working from home. So realistically, the schools, it's different. It's a different day and time. You really have to just limit yourself with your work schedule. When they're in school, then you're in work, and kind of everybody have their own little corner or their own little office or their own little space,
Mm-hmm.
and whatever things that with the kids being on, I know for my child, for middle school, all of her teachers weren't on the Zoom calls or the group meet, as they
Mm-hmm.
say. So she met with one teacher every day, but the rest of them had multiple days that they didn't, because most teachers have children that are at home with them. So how are they
Mm-hmm.
going to teach our children, and their children are at home as well? So I think it is a challenging event and a space that everybody is in. But I think if we keep a more positive aspect of it and not think so negatively about everything and kind of speak those things that we want to evolve in our lives, that we will become better people and stop thinking everything is just out for the worst. We got to
Mm-hmm.
think positively and we have to think that this is going to work for us.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to make the sacrifice. And I know it's easier said than done, but I made a lot of sacrifices for my children. My mother made a lot of sacrifices for me. So it's just what it is.
Right. Mm, that's a fair question. I think that word, it's sacrifice. For some people, they have no idea what it means. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
look it up. She just told you sacrifice. That's how you get it all done.
Yeah,
Sacrifice. There you go.
it is. You got to work it
Well,
out
Mhm.
well,
and take
Marcia,
one day at a time. That's all.
Mhm. Mhm.
I want to thank you so much for your time, Marcia. I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate that you shared with the audience. You're welcome back at any time. I
All
will
right.
give your information in the description area. So if anyone wants to contact you about, real estate, or who
Okay.
knows who's listening and interested in checking out the salon, I'll put the information there for them as well.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And I'm very, very humble and grateful for you even thinking that much of me and affording me this opportunity.
Thank you.
You
Come
were
back
great. Thank
anytime.
you. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Have a good night.
All right.
You
You
too.
too. Take
Bye.
care. Yeah, I'm so glad she was able to share with us because she had a lot of information because she's, what do you call it, ground zero?
Mm.
Um, not just hearsay, and
Mhm.
she's actually lived through this and
Right.
still going through this.
Yep. Mhm. Oh, I could definitely say one thing though. I remember it was a little while ago, but there was a show. I don't know if y'all remember because it was a while ago, and we were talking about like hair, and hairdressers and whatever, right? And Shara's like, "No, I got mine. I'm good." Right? We're like, "Well, Shara, you could always try new things every once in a while." Shara's like, "I got mine. I'm good. I get it now. See, I see this. I see this. She's cool. I feel the vibe. I feel that she's got that presence and that spirit, and feel like you guys have that same like cool vibe and wavelength, and she sounds really proficient and stuff. I get it now. That's why you shut us all down. You're like, yeah, you guys can do what you want. I'm good, but thanks though. You want a number, Shard? No, I'm good, but thank you. I got it now. I understand. I remember that. I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh, everything is all explained now. Everything is all explained. But I think it's amazing. Then she's like, yeah, and I was a middle school teacher for a while. Wait, what? You were what? So hold on. So far you're licensed. Licensed. It's not like she's not licensed, right? She does this in her basement in her spare time. It's what she did to make up some money during COVID, right? It was a salon. Then she's also a real estate what do you call them?
A
Brokers, agent,
broker.
broker.
Yes.
Okay, right? Oh, and then she did teach middle school there for a couple years. It wasn't her thing. It's not like they just let you teach middle school, right? Like you have to go and get like every single one of these things she got licensed to do. Right. And then when that didn't work out, she went, okay, I'll go get licensed for something else. Like I think that's incredible. Right. On top of that, like, she's, has a family. A lot of us, and I'm being serious, I've heard a lot of people complain about trying to do like one thing, right? And
Right.
just like, but it's so hard for me to go to school to live my dream. Wait, what? She went to school 3 separate times so far that we know of, right? And got
Right.
licensed for all of them. And when she didn't like the one she got licensed for, she didn't give up and go work at McDonald's, y'all. You know what I mean? Like that is in and of itself. I don't think she was trying to be an inspiration. But I find that very inspirational because I
Yes.
gotta say, I'm finding I'm trying to pursue my one thing very, very stressful. Maybe three. If this one doesn't work out, I give up. Okay, I don't know. I will. I guess I'll get a fans only page or something because I don't know. All this work is too much for me, right? But she's like, I don't know. Yeah, you just do it. It's just what you do. What? No, that's not what most people do. I don't think she realizes that. Thank God she doesn't, because she became a well-rounded, productive person. But I think a lot of
Yeah.
people have trouble with that. Something that she just, it's almost like you would say, oh, well, maybe she takes it for granted because she just comes from a long line of people who, oh wait, no, she's the first one in her family to have graduated from high school and college. So that's really inspirational. She's definitely awesome. I think you could bring her on for a lot of different shows. She probably got a lot of valuable information in her belt.
Yeah, I just have to find when it's a good time for her because she is a very busy person.
Hmm.
And I was just glad to get her this Friday. I really didn't think she was going to be able to make it. I really didn't, but she surprised me. I'm like, oh, yay! I was just so happy because think about it. There is a budget or lack of one. They're trying to figure it out. Um,
Hmm.
it might not be until September before
Hmm.
any funding actually is out there, and that's just ridiculous. But that's what the government is doing to us. What can you do?
Right.
So um, to hear all that she has experienced from beginning to end, and then just think she's talking about having it before it was even talked about.
Yep.
Because I think it was February is when it was actually announced,
Hmm.
and she's talking about December and wearing masks.
Yep.
So this
Hmm.
is no joke. I mean, it's been out there. I can understand if they didn't have a name for it. Okay, I get that.
Right.
But they probably didn't want to have a panic when they did find out. They're like,
Hmm.
okay, we're going to keep this on hush hush. We ain't going to say too much.
Right. No. Well, they knew, right? I mean, we know that they knew because, and here's the thing, right? I was literally just watching this movie last night called Contagion. Some people probably seen it. It's like an old movie,
Oh,
um,
okay.
with like Matt Damon. Actually, they have a whole bunch of stars in it, and it's amazing because so many of them get killed off like really early. So you're thinking to yourself, this must have been a high budget movie for them to get someone who they have to pay like $50 million to appear in the movie who dies in the first 10 minutes, and you're like, what? Are they coming back as zombies? Like, how did you afford that? But anyway, um, and so in this movie, though, the whole point is, and I mean, this has happened with H1N1, with SARS, with a bunch of things, right? I mean, a lot of things initiate somewhere in China. Um, and the thing is, China is such a massive hub. So even though normally these things that are crossing barriers from animals to humans are doing it, with animals in the farmers kind of area, but then that food gets shipped other places, which is what happened in this case. Or, those farmers have to go into town for other stuff, go to their villages, they go to their wives or husbands or whoever who then work in the business sector. And then, people are flying in and out of China every day. They're getting on plane after plane because they have to get connecting flights. I mean, it's so
Right.
easy to spread things. So if we know that China knew like September, October, then we got to know that it was spreading since, September, October. Like it's guaranteed someone in America had it before. And I think that they wanted it to seem like surprising and brand new to us. So we didn't sit there and go, why did you guys sit on this information for 6 months while we got sick over and over again? Um, but I think that they knew. And I think like she was talking about her, I think it was one of her clients or a friend who, she goes in and they stuck something way up her nose and swabbed. That's not like typical for you have an upper respiratory tract thing. They don't just do that.
Yeah, that
Um,
was her front desk person.
oh, the front desk lady. Yes. And
Yeah.
it's like they don't normally do that. Like you're hard pressed. They'll sit there, they swab the back of your throat, right? And if it's not strep, and or bacterial, then that's about it. They go, it's upper respiratory, it's just a virus, sleep it off, right? If they're sitting there and going out of their way to swab up your nose from however many months before they, a month or two before they announce this, that's got to tell you that by then they already knew, yes, we have a new thing, it's a virus, but it's a problem, so we got to keep track of it. They already knew this by then. And if they already knew that, that means enough people got it in the months before then that they already had a protocol for how to test for it. So
Right.
let's common sense, two and two. Let's not all get angry and start marching down to capitals and stuff like that, because I don't think that's going to solve anything. But also use our common sense and be like, they knew, right? Like, let's be real.
They knew, they just didn't know what to do.
Exactly. I mean, and this is problem part of the problem with the viruses. I think what they like to do, Shar, especially in, like, North America, is they find stuff out way before we do. And so what they do is they find it out, and I think they try to find a solution before we ever catch wind of it. So that way they look like miracle workers when they have a solution right away, right? Like, oh my God, we're so fast. Our science is amazing. Our scientists are the greatest. So it's like, no, our scientists have been working on this for 8 months, right? Like, we just didn't know that they knew, right? So, like,
Yeah, and as far as the clients that was having issues with the sanitary procedures, because when you come in, she'll greet you.
mm-hmm,
Because at first it was just her, she didn't have the front desk staff, and then she'll check you in. She'll, put your name, whatever, in the system. Then she say, sanitize your hand. The sanitizer was right there. And then if you go in the middle, the next room, there's another big thing right there. So um, if you walk past that desk without getting it, you're still not getting it far, because right there in the center, there's another squirt bottle. So you got that.
mm-hmm,
Then you're gonna go to your left. Then you're gonna wash your hands.
mm-hmm,
The door, I think, might have been ajar when I went to wash my hands. And see, I'm like that anyway, so I pay it. I can't help it. I've always been that way. Especially the last time I had a real bad flu about
mm-hmm.
15, 16 years ago.
What?
I'm like never again. I was in bed for 3 days, and I think let me see, it was a Tuesday. I think came home, and I got out of bed that Friday. Went took a shower, and the water hit me. I was my whole body was sore,
Mm-hmm.
and all I did was drink water, get up to go urinate, lay back down for 3 days. That's it.
Wow.
And after that, I'm like, I never want to be like this again. I just
Mm-hmm.
do not. So from then on, anything I touch, I just constantly wipe my hands, or did not try to touch it. I'll use a napkin or something. I
Right.
mean, for the last I think 16 years now, and I've
Mm-hmm.
never had a flu like that ever again. Any type of sniffle I get, I'm actually able to go to work, because it doesn't affect me like that, because I'm
Right.
so careful what I touch. But anyway, what I was getting to when as far as the person or people that she has to explain that to, once you say, I don't see why I have to, that's telling me you don't want to.
Right.
So because you don't want to, you win. I'm not going to fight with you. I'm like, you know what? You don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Your appointment's canceled. Thank you so much anyway for coming in today. You
Right.
have a nice day.
Yep. That's what it is.
Now, of
Uh,
course, I know that's money and all of that, but I'm just telling you, that's just how I'm going to roll. I'm like, I'm going to tell you to leave. I'm not, and I understand the teaching. And that's, so sad, because I believe everyone is 18 years and over.
mm-hmm.
And I have to, explain to you to do that. Um,
Right.
because if I don't do that, then the questions I ask you, you're going to be upset with me. My questions would be, did you touch the knob when you came to the door? When you
Mm-hmm.
came in here? Because I've had to buzz you in. Yeah, I touched the knob. Do you know who touched that knob before you got here? Do you know how many people touched the knob before you came in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where did you come from? How far did you travel to get here? Did you touch anything? Was it public transportation? Did you touch the fare box? Did you touch the handrail of the public transportation? And
Right.
once I finish questioning you, you'll get the point. But I'm irritated with you if I go that route.
Mm-hmm.
And because I don't want to go that route with you, I'm just going to dismiss you and tell you, you are right. You should not have to wash your hands. I don't blame you. Stand up for your rights. And you have the right to leave. And thank you so much for your appointment, but it is now canceled. Have a
Mm-hmm.
great day. Bye
Well, see,
bye.
I would give them the option, right? I actually would. I would say, Why do you
That's
have
not.
to? Because those are our rules. So, you don't have to at all. But if you would like your appointment, then this is what everyone has to do. Like, that's it. I'm not going to sit there and walk you through common sense 101. I'm not, right? Because I don't care. You can sit there and come up with all kinds of reasons. Like, no, I used a napkin. Well, actually, no, I used my car, which has been disinfected. I don't care what you say, actually. It doesn't matter to me at all. You can come up with a million reasons why it is that you shouldn't have to because you didn't touch anything. You might not even be lying. It doesn't matter if you touched absolutely nothing. Someone else could have touched everything for you from inside of your house all the way to right here. It doesn't matter. This is the rule. So this is the rule that you have to. It's like, how they came up with those signs: no shirt, no shoes, no service. Now,
Uh-huh. Yes.
does you wearing a shirt or shoes impede your ability to be served, to be respectful, to pay them money? No. But it didn't matter. No shirt, no shoes, no service. It was very simple. And
Yes.
so, why do I have to wear a shirt? You can yell and scream and complain all you want. If you want to be serviced in the store, it doesn't matter how logical it is. You have to put on a shirt and you have to wear shoes. That's why. Why? Because I'm crazy. Because a magical witch told me so. It doesn't matter why. These are the rules, and you do it, or you could go home. That's why. Because I said so. Because you don't own this salon. I do, and I said so. Because you don't own this state. The United States does, and they said so. It doesn't matter, right? You're not getting serviced unless you do this. So which one do you want, right? Like, people can keep, like, I don't understand this whole need to, I don't know, I guess rail against the man when the man is literally just saying, like, do things that are common sense. Clean your hands frequently, wear a mask when you're in public with a bunch of people you don't know, and having to be anywhere near them, breathing in their air. Like, why is this so problematic to people? Like, why is it like, why do they find it personally offending that they have to wear a mask, or, oh my god forbid, use a little bit of that antibacterial hand sanitizer? Why is this so problematic to people? Like, even if you don't believe, fine, don't believe, that's cool. To be honest with you, right, I don't think COVID-19 is any more or less problematic than every flu. I don't. But it doesn't matter if I think it is or not. These are the rules. You wear a mask. I want to wear the mask and do all this stuff because of cold and flu season, because I catch everything and everything makes me horribly ill. So I'm just as scared of COVID-19 as I am of the regular flu, and actually a regular cold for that matter. So this is how I treat colds and flus. Oh, there's one right now that's raging around and everyone seems to have it. Cool, I don't want it. But do you want a flu? Do you want a cold? Do you want strep throat? Do you want these things? Like, I'm so confused. Like, why is this offensive to you? Why do you have that much of an issue?
Yeah.
Explain.
Now, see, they might want to fight me if I was to approach it the way you just did.
Mm.
So that's why I wouldn't do all of that. I would just go with you are right. See, that's one thing. Don't argue with anyone. They're right. They are correct. You know what? What was I thinking? You shouldn't have to wash your hands. My apologies. Okay. Um, your appointment is now canceled. Thank you. Have a great day.
You know what? I wouldn't even say now canceled. Sorry, what was your name? Oh, well, you're not on the schedule anyway. So,
Oh,
yeah, there
we
you
might
go.
have made a mistake. Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah, I would let them hear, like, the sound of the pencil on the paper, though, as you're scratching their name out. I'd let them hear that as I'm going, what's your name? Ah. And then hearing the scratching name, your name's not on the schedule anyway, so I guess you don't need to. You don't have an appointment. Sorry. Problem solved.
You're free with your dirty hands.
Right, Why don't you go lick a lamppost while you're out there? Just have a good time?
Okay, not here though. But yeah, that's something. And I am a little concerned when it comes down with the restaurants because I was watching. I'm trying to think, where did I go? I went somewhere and I seen someone do something, and I'm like, oh, I don't know about all these workers. I don't know where I was. I don't think I was about to buy anything. Um, I can't recall where I was, but anyway, I seen someone that was dealing with food, and some move that they made me think that, oh boy, I wouldn't be too comfortable purchasing from here or that person, whatever it was. So you still have to be careful because you're touching doorknobs. Um, you know what I know? I remember what it is because when I have wine or whatever, I have to have something fried, and I like not the wings, the fries from Wingstop because they're hand cut fries. And I was waiting on it because see, I get mine with no salt, no seasoning. So I normally have to stand to the side and wait for that because they have to, make them fresh. And while I was waiting, the Uber person or whatever it was, whatever service it was, Uber Eats, they had picked someone's cup. So the employee took the cup, they put their finger in the cup, pulled it, from the whole thing. So that was one thing. They handed it to the driver. The driver took it the same way. He put his finger in the cup. And I was just thinking like, wow, I don't think I would like to do that. I don't want to get my food, I wouldn't want them to service me
Mhm.
because they're touching your cup, like,
Mhm.
ugh, I don't think I want that because you don't know what happens before that food gets to you. Or maybe the
Exactly.
food, but not that drink.
Mhm.
Give me a can or bottle. Sorry, I'm good.
Seriously, I'm telling you, I am a lazy person, and yet despite that, I have not had any type of delivery, pre-made food at all since the start. I just won't do it. And you know what? I think part of it is because they traumatized me early on with those video reports of people doing gross things, licking stuff. I'm gonna deliver you guys gonna lick your butt and then put it back into your why did you feel the need to do that, even whether you have COVID-19 or not? That's repulsive, right? Or like licking packages, or I don't know, I'm just scared of people now, and so I'm like, I, I just haven't. I refuse to. I would rather just cook it at home, so that way I know for sure no one else breathed on it, sneezed on it, coughed on it, and nothing. Just nothing happened to it. Okay, I just don't want to think about and wonder what happened to this. I'm gonna look at it funny, try to figure out, can I see the bacteria? Is there extra bacteria? Like, I don't know, right? Like, I would rather just if
Right.
it doesn't come in a sealed bottle from some manufacturing plant, sealed bottles of water or whatever it is, or it's not something raw that I cook here. And cook is the operative word too, because I have a real issue with eating raw things. Like, I used to really be a big fan of like eating salads and fresh veggies, but I don't know, like without being able to heat it to a certain temperature, you can't kill bacteria. And I don't know, man. Like I said, people put on a mask when they go into the store, sure. But before they went into the store, they probably didn't have the mask on. They could be sick. They could have been rubbing their faces, coughing on their hands, doing all kinds of stuff before they decided to walk into the store and now feel around the veggies and whatever to see what's fresh and not and whatever, right? Like, I don't know. I would just rather not do it. So if I can't cook it to like boiling temperatures, I'm not eating it. It's what it is. Myself for the record. I don't know. I am sure, the KFC people are very sterile or whatever. I don't know. But did you guys take the boxes seriously? Did you take I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. That's all. I just don't know. And see, you don't want to be in a position where you don't know, where you're like sitting there, it's like midnight or whatever, you feel a tickle in your throat. You want to know for sure it's because like your throat's dry and not because you're coming down with, COVID death, right? Like, it's just, I'm just saying. You just want to as sure as
Yeah.
possible.
Now, Rashid, I agree with you. There are some because I have seen when the bag was sealed, so the food is safer, but that drink, and I don't know what's going on. Why they won't they serve these fountain drinks instead of giving cans and bottles? Maybe it's cheaper for them, but I
Yes,
find
it
that
is.
to be safer because even like Whole Food, they used to have the muffin or cookies and stuff like that where you can just, get the wax paper, grab it and put it in a bag. But now they have it individually wrapped. They even
Mhm.
have that at let me see, what store was that? I think Jewel Food Store, and I think Mariano's, which I think is part of Kroger's. And they have it individually wrapped. And I think that is so cool. And I'm like, they should have done this all the time
Yeah.
because you never know. I've seen where uh, someone wander in, playing around with the donuts and stuff. And one of my friends, she pointed out one of the donuts because she loved the donuts they have at Jewel at their
Mhm.
bakery, and she said, "Girl, look!" And I looked, and you could see a fingerprint in one of the
Mhm.
donuts. So, so when I saw that they were individually wrapped, I'm like, they should have been this way anyway. It's just safer. Now I understand the packaging, but you they charge us enough with packaging anyway. I mean, they charge us for a darn bag. So come
Mhm.
on, just go ahead and wrap the bad fella up. I'm
Oh yeah.
happy. It'll
No,
be
I.
better that way.
That's why I go to places like Tim Hortons. So Tim Hortons is like, I guess, Dunkin' Donuts or whatever. So because when all of the donuts, the cookies, the croissants, the danishes, all of that stuff is behind glass, and you can tell them exactly which one you want through the glass, and then
Okay.
they can't even put their faces over it because it's kind of like it's like there are racks, do you know what I mean, that slide in and out. So they reach in and they go, which one do you want, but their faces aren't actually over any of this stuff, and then they slide it into like one of those little bags and give it to you, right? So I've always appreciated the fact that first of all, random people can't touch stuff. Your children who you're not paying attention to can't touch stuff. They can't breathe on it, they can't accidentally cough on it. Like, I've always been a little bit creeped out by like even like buffets and stuff, right? Just like I'm not saying, even if you're not trying to do anything ridiculous like grabbing stuff with your fingers and whatever, you are breathing, right? As
Right.
you're looking and you're reading signs, and okay, you're not directly right over it, but you're a foot away, or that's pretty close. It's I don't know, I've always kind of felt a little bit iffy about it. Now, in all fairness, I go to Mandarin. That's Do you guys have Mandarin in the States?
No.
Okay, it is this massive Chinese all you can eat buffet. Massive. Like, everyone knows Mandarin here. Everyone's been to Mandarin. It is an event. There's
Hmm.
every kind of Chinese food you can think of. At night they have like the seafood thing too, with all you can eat crab legs, shrimp
Wow.
of a bunch of different kinds, mussels, like every kind of noodle you can think of. And I mean, this is like, I mean, it's like the Americanized version, but this is good Chinese food. This is not like just some slop they threw together because it's all you can eat. It's very expensive, but it's very good. Like when they decide to do, say, 50% off on Canada Day or whatever holiday, man, people line up, sharp. When I say around the block, at every
Oh.
Mandarin. Like they're outside, around the restaurant, all around through the parking lot, on the sidewalk, down the block. You can't even like, you say, hey, you know what? Maybe we should try that Mandarin sale. Man, people have been lining up since yesterday. Like it's literally, it's so long. There's no point in even trying. And people will stand there and just keep trying to get in, because trying to get 50% off at Mandarin, which was regularly now like, I think it's probably about $25 or so, all you can eat. Whereas it used to be like, say, 20 or whatever. So you get
Wow.
like, yeah, so $15 all you can eat. Oh yeah, people will wait all day and night for that. So it's really, really good. So now I would go to Mandarin, right? And it's a buffet. Yes, it's well open. Yeah, they have the sneeze guards over it, but in general, it's open, right? Like
Right. It's still open.
yeah, it's still open. I remember as a kid pulling some stuff I shouldn't have, touching stuff just to see if it was hot or cold or whatever. So I know it's possible. So have I done it? Yes, but you know, I don't make a practice of like, oh yay, it's buffet style, so it's cheaper. Let's go. And that's why I don't like the idea that it's open like that. Just
Right.
anyone walking by, no one's. It's not like people are monitoring it, right? So anything can happen. accidental or otherwise. People might make bad decisions with the food because they feel bad about dropping something. They'll put it back inside the plate. Like, you don't know. It's
Right.
just like,
You don't know.
yeah, better safe than sorry. That's the way I've always felt about that.
Yeah,
Just
I don't think they
open
have a
open air
buffet
food.
guard.
No, no, they should though. Well, see, and now there are other places that do buffet style that I like, and again, it's I'm trying to think of, it's like Mother Tucker's, no, Tucker, something like that. Anyway, point is, and so it's a buffet style, so you can walk through, you can get as much as you want, but someone is actually in at the station serving people. So they'll have 2, 3 people per station serving you what it is you want because it's behind glass and behind a sneeze guard for them. So they just reach in, put it on your plate. So you can't actually get in there to affect it. See, I like that kind of style, I think.
Mm, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can't even think of any buffets anymore. I know we had one what was the name of that country? Something with the word country in it. Old
Mm.
country. Is it old country buffet? It might I think that is the name of it.
Hmm.
I think they kind of went out of business if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen an advertisement or anything, but um once we found out about it because it was only in the suburbs
Hmm.
and once we found out about it, well, let's just say that they had to change some rules when it came down to Friday night with the ribs. That's all I'm going to say.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we had to have them to change the rules. I'm telling you, we put our little spiel on it, and they like, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go out of business. You sit up here as soon as dinner time opens,
Mm.
because like lunch was maybe till 4 or something like that, and people would be there from lunch to dinner when the ribs came out. And stay till it
Wow.
closed. Yeah, they had to change the rules. I remember some of them days because I used to hang out with a group of people who used to do that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we,
You never
you
said
know,
we couldn't. See, that's terrible. It's again like that caution, content's hot on coffee cups, right? Y'all are terrible, okay? Like they have to explicitly say it or you take advantage of it. There's a loophole. I see y'all see the loophole? Legal loophole. Let's jump through it, right? Like,
right.
oh, gotta love America for that, though. I mean, that's the way things are. I've noticed that in America. America, like if there's a loophole, people will use it. Whereas in Canada, people will be like, well, I think that what they meant is pretty clear. I mean, it's kind of implied by the rules. Like Canadians will do that, right? Like kids won't, right? When you're
Right.
young and whatever, but like adults, they'll do that. They'll be like, oh, well, I'm pretty sure that's not what they meant, right? Like you'll do stuff like that, and kind of like you want to be like considerate. When I say Canadians, in all fairness, I don't necessarily mean black Canadians, but I do, I do mean Canadians in general. Overall, we do try to kind of be like, well, I don't think that that's the spirit of the rule, Not America.
Yeah. We kind of, went a little overboard. But we did have foil. We used to take foil because that's flat.
Mm?
So it wasn't Tupperware, but there were some people that used Tupperware. DeAndre, that is correct. I was a foil girl myself. I can't remember what it is I liked. I think it was I think I used to take that for the breadsticks at olive oil. What about to say olive
Olive
oil?
Garden, Olive
Olive
Garden.
Garden.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what I used to take it for. Yeah, I used to love that. I was a bread person, so but yeah,
My
we
grandmother owned the biggest purses on planet Earth. It was always so humiliating to me because this woman would find, like, I swear to God, she brought the entire package of Ziploc bags, like the extra giant ones. And this woman would get plate after plate of wings with her plate of food she was actually eating to put the wings inside the bag. And then when she was done getting wings, she'd get crab legs. When she's done getting crab legs, that woman went home like name it. We had wings, we had the crab legs, we had shrimp. Man, I'm surprised she never got caught. Maybe like, oh, it was always so humiliating. Like, Grandma, you can't do that. It's so wrong. Nope. Ziploc bag, the extra durable ones. She have like her purse just full of like 5, 6 giant, those extra giant bags of wings. Yep. Yep.
Go, Grandma.
Right?
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's okay. No shame. None. See, that's I have too much shame to do things like that. I do.
You
Like I don't know.
do?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, while you
I-
get your belly full. Okay, well, it's all right. Do what you have to do.
Yeah, right. Like I don't mind putting my last plate inside of the bag because they won't give you to go boxes. Even though like, yo, I only got one plate. I had to pay $20 just to sit at this table. So why can't I take my plate to go? They won't do it. Right. So I don't mind. Like you get one thing and be like, nah, these people, like this is ridiculous. Let me finish my plate. You would rather throw it in the garbage and let me take it home. Right. Okay, fine. Right. But like you went in there to scam them, right? Like, God damn, y'all. Like I'm too Canadian. I was born here. See, that's what happened. I was born here and they just pound the shame in you so you don't want to break the rules. It makes you feel bad about yourself. Yep.
Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, let me see if I can get the comment. This is too hilarious. He is sponsored by Ziploc.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a Ziploc girl myself. As of late, I go someplace and they have slices of lemon. Oh boy,
Mm.
there you go. I don't have to buy any lemons. I'm straight, but don't tell nobody else.
Right? Shad's gonna get to the next place. God damn, who was watching the show and took my lemons? Who? Who? The like lemon bowl's always empty now. Everyone knows. Like, oh, you're right. Lemons are such a ripoff. I'll just take a few of these.
Okay, I have my Ziploc bag. Do 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 do. Take that fork. Do da 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 da. Lolly lolly lolly. I sure did. Now I know
Mhm.
we end up talking about food, and that had to do with sanitary reasons. We started talking about it, but um, we have pretty much come to a close. And according to the time, we're a little early, but we actually are on time because it is 12:06 in Canada, so it is officially your birthday. Happy birthday, Ruby!
Well,
Woo!
thank you, but my birthday's not until Sunday. But
What are
thank
you
you.
talking about? Well,
Yeah.
anyway, we're celebrating it now. How about that?
Hell yeah, I'm down for that. Listen, it's I don't have a birthday. I have a birth season. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, to be clear. So trust me, if you don't see me
Oh,
until two
birth
weeks from now,
season.
y'all, still my birthday. We're good. Yeah.
Birth season. All right. I love it.
Thank you though. Thank you. And thank you everyone. I did see you guys, Poeticals, Vonda. Oh gosh, everyone was saying at the very beginning. I love y'all and I really appreciate it. Ah, y'all, thank you. Thank you. I know I'm 36 years young. Um, I told the lady at the doctor's office yesterday, she went, no way. There's no way you're 36. And I loved her. In that moment, I want to marry her. She was the greatest person ever. But I was like, yes. Um, but yeah, no, I can't even believe it's my birthday already. This kid went like it went so slow and so fast because of the whole COVID-19, everything's locked down and stuff, right? Which is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
slow day to day. But then I'm like, I look back, I'm like, that happened in March. It's August, y'all. Like it's August, y'all.
Yeah. It really is.
Oh my
It
god.
really is. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, I love y'all. Thank you. I'm so happy I get to spend my birth week and Friday with y'all. There was a time where I was young, drinking, dancing right about now. But I ain't young anymore. Okay, my old joints can't take that anymore. I only look young. So then you got to sit home and watch a movie. I say words like I get to sit here and chat it up with y'all, lead y'all in your foolishness. It's good times. It's good times.
Good times. That is right.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone. I want to thank you very much for spending your time here with us. For all of those that have contributed to the channel, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And tomorrow, I'll be having, what is it, episode 10 for article reactions. And if Ruby start partying early, I'm not for certain. She'll be here, and if not, that's fine. Show gonna go on. I got some good stuff for you guys.
Ooh.
Some interesting stuff, and so do show up. And I'm going to play the commercial for our Keep the Beat segment, and then end the show. So until then, I hope to see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
And peace.
Cheers, y'all.
Hi, this is Char Willie from the Just Ask Char Advice channel. Join me and Classic Ruby for a new radio segment called Keep the Beat. We broadcast every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from gsrn-radio.net. Just press the icon that is a speaker, press play radio. If you missed the live broadcast, you'll be able to listen to the replays on Mixcloud. Just follow me at Just Ask Char Advice Channel on Mixcloud, and you will receive an email once the broadcast is uploaded. We look forward to seeing you soon. And until then, enjoy this show. Peace.